Tonight, the conclusion to our week-long investigation into pandemic learning loss. Public records have been key in showing how students are doing, but parents have had to fight to get them, as did Fox 6 investigator Amanda St. Hilaire. So are public records really public if the public can't afford them?
I'll make a motion that we return fully virtual.
Full face-to-face, 5 days a week, in-class learning.
They're making the decisions.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye. And that item passes.
5 ayes.
Motion carries.
But you are the boss.
That was part of the reason I got involved.
I wasn't interested in school board, but now I am.
Your taxes pay public agencies like school districts to work for you. So why is it so hard to get information?
That's outrageous.
From your own employees?
It was really sort of a result of watching my daughter increasingly struggle with grades, anxiety.
Waukesha parents wanted to know, how are students across the board doing with hybrid and virtual learning? Their open records request asked for things like absences, quarantines, average GPA, percentage of students failing at least one class.
On Christmas Eve, a nice little present from the district, which was, we have your data and it's going to cost you $500 in order to get it.
Parents were outraged.
I had no idea they could charge that sum of money.
Most parents don't have $500 lying around. So doesn't that kind of fee block, in essence, transparency?
Certainly is not the goal to do that.
Wisconsin law says the government can charge you for locating a record if the cost is $50 or more. That's not including paper copies or postage. You, the requester, are paying for someone to simply find the record. The Fox 6 investigators found at least 30 states allowing similar charges.
Well, ideally, we wouldn't have location fees.
Open records advocates say high fees can prevent important information from coming to light.
I think a lot of location fees really aren't just numbers pulled out of thin air in an attempt to hope that the requester goes away.
Wisconsin Examiner reported on this Wauwatosa police email, suggesting charging a high price to combat the issue of releasing public personnel files. Other agencies say the fees are about covering cost.
We have had a significant number of them, and it's taking us time, certainly, and resources.
But you, the boss, already pay for public employee time and resources. And the law says providing public records is part of the routine duties of government.
Hey, boss.
What's going on?
If you ask me to do one of my routine duties as an employee, how much extra do I get to charge you?
You get to charge me nothing extra because the deal you made when you signed your contract was for salary. And you don't change the rules in the middle of the game.
That's all I needed to know. Thanks, Jim.
What was that all about?
If you don't get to charge your boss extra for routine work, why do public agencies get to charge you? When Fox 6 asked the region's 10 largest school districts for student performance records, Oak Creek Franklin initially said the search would take 4 hours, costing $150. Waukesha said 6 hours at nearly $200. And Wauwatosa estimated 18 hours at $682.
How could they have not been in a position where they could just instantly look at a report of the quarter grades and know how that measured up against the previous year?
We narrowed our request. Oak Creek, Franklin, and Waukesha ultimately did not charge. Wauwatosa still wanted $75. After we paid, the school district said the time it took to locate the records exceeded the original estimate and slapped us with a bill for an additional $322. We questioned the cost. The school district stopped responding. Back in Waukesha,
it was actually quite amazing. People we didn't even know immediately started offering to help offset the cost so that we could get our hands on the data.
And we got it the day of the January 13th board meeting, and our jaws dropped. It was worse than we ever imagined it could be.
The record showed dropping grades during hybrid learning.
The numbers do not lie.
Parents presented their findings to the school board. which voted that night
Corey Montiel.
Aye.
Patrick McCaffrey.
Aye.
to return to in-person learning.
Passes 8-0.
But for the parents, this is not a happy ending
We've discovered the power that exists in open records requests.
because the price of that power can only be crowdsourced for so long. Just a few weeks later, a Waukesha parent sent us this. The district estimating a search for public employee disciplinary records will take 267 hours, costing $8,861. So you are the boss in theory. In practice, you can only see what your employees are up to if you can afford the price. Amanda St. Hilaire, Fox 6 Investigators.
Now, Waukesha's superintendent tells us that nearly $9,000 estimate is so high because the district would need to search through every employee personnel file. Open records advocates say that's part of the problem. Amanda will be talking more about that and the governor's proposed change to the law tomorrow in the 8 a.m. hour of Fox 6 Wake Up. And if you would like to see the rest of our learning loss coverage, you can find all of the stories from this week on our website. Just visit fox6now.com.